Welcome to CPAGuide.tv. My name is Brian Kessler and I'm a licensed CPA, and today's video is all about Yaeger CPA review course. So they've recently done a massive overhaul of their entire CPA review course to prepare for the 2017 exam and to add a whole lot of more bells and whistles and so forth. So I really want to show you the ins and outs of Yaeger CPA review course, what I like, what I don't like, and whether it's a course that will work for you. So let's hop behind my computer and get started. All right, welcome back to my computer. So let's go over exactly what is included when you invest in Yaeger CPA review. So the very first step is you'll be treated to this getting started page. So basically you're going to check the first section that you plan to study for. So let's go ahead and click on audit just for the fun of it. So now Yaeger is going to give you another option. So basically you need to determine which statement best represents you below. So basically you can determine how confident you are. I like to be tested on studies often, or high level of details, give me the need to know information, and so forth. So set it on the scale of what you personally prefer. So you know, I'm probably not as confident in my study skills. I definitely like to be tested often, but I don't necessarily need as high a level detail. I get the common gist of it. Okay, so the next step is to give us an understanding of your schedule. So what day would you like to start studying? So you can select whatever day that might be. And then how to prioritize your general study plan schedule. So for me, I want to choose basically my desired testing window. So then I can select when I plan to sit for the exam. So let's say October. Click continue. Okay, so now you've got all your data filled in, and now you can create the course. And then the course will be generating. So I'll give this a minute. Okay, so my Adapt to Pass learning experience has been created. So here is your Yaeger dashboard. So basically for audit, there's going to be a bunch of different chapters. So basically 5 primary chapters that are going to walk you through the AICPA's new blueprint. So this includes, you know, all this, the subunits within each of the 5 primary sections that will be covered on audit and so forth. So let's go ahead at this point and get a brief overview of the dashboard. So you've got your content groups, your audio lecture lessons. So this is where you can go to download the audio of the lectures if you are planning to commute or whatever and would like to listen on the go. Then there's the review section. So this will be where you create your quizzes. Then they have the game center, which is kind of a unique take on the CPA exam, studying with a group of people. Then you've got your community. So this is where your customer support is going to happen. And then you've got your account and logging out and all that fun stuff. So at this point, let's go ahead and look at an actual sub-unit and understand how Yaeger works here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this lesson. Okay, so right off the bat, you can see that the Yaeger dashboard, it looks really nice, and it's also mobile responsive, so you can, you know, pretty much study anywhere that you have an internet connection on almost any device. So just one thing to note here. So when I first set up how I study best, Yaeger decided that I was more of a visual focus. So visual focus means that it's going to be more focused on the lectures. Now, if I was more of a textbook focus learner, then it would be this dashboard will look just a little bit different, and the main focus will be the actual textbook, so their ebook that they have built into the course. So really, it just that's just one of the differences between how Yaeger helps you learn the material faster. So for this review, I'll be focusing on the video focus, because I think most people will who end up going with Yaeger will be some people who utilize the video focus. So let's look at all the different features here. So you obviously have your video lecture. So here's where you're going to be watching the video. Okay, and one of the new features that Yaeger has recently introduced is what they call Adaptive Sync. So as you're watching the video lecture, the textbook will appear here on the relevant page of the topic that the lecturer is discussing. So this is really handy as it allows you to know exactly where you should be in your textbook as you're watching the lectures. They also include this optional comprehension check. So it's basically a group of multiple choice questions that you can go through that will test your knowledge over this particular subject. So you can take these after you watch the video lecture, or what you might do is take them before, see what your results are, and then determine whether you actually need to watch the video lecture or not, especially if it's over a topic that you understand fairly well. So let's go ahead and submit. So basically we got 3 out of 5 correct, and then you can view the explanation and it will let you know why the question was right or wrong. So pretty handy, and it's a good way to test your knowledge whether you've watched the lecture or not. Okay, so and other things that you can do if you are not so much a paper and pen type person, as you're watching the video lecture, you can create notes and bookmarks. So let's go ahead and create a note and then bookmark where we left the note on the actual video lecture. And then we can save the note. Okay, let's see. Oops. That's weird. Let's reload the page. Okay. Let's see. So there you go. So now the note is saved, and we saved it
welcome
at the 2-second mark. So at this point, let's go ahead and watch the lecture and get a feel for how these lectures work.
Back to Yaeger. Anytime you're going out of town for several days, that's considered luxurious. It's not okay. B, second letter. Now, go back in the book to page 43. Excuse me. Was the greatest risk in accepting a new audit engagement. The greatest risk. Can't do this. You can't take on the engagement. So it's the same factors to consider.
Okay, so as you can see, it's very engaging. There's going to be multiple choice questions that you can take while watching the lecture. Then at other points, it pulls up the text and they tell you exactly where you need to be reading. And then you can take your notes and all that fun stuff. So again, it's very engaging. It's very, you're not going to fall asleep while watching these lectures. Now, in terms of entertainment, I mean, it's tough to make accounting videos entertaining, but compared to Yaeger, there are other lecturers that are out there that have a little bit more energy and are a little bit more engaging. But again, these videos, if you look here, let's see, so this one's 25 minutes. It's not like you're going to be sitting here for 3 or 4 hours like if you go with, say, a Becker. So Yaeger does break up their videos into reasonable periods of time so that you're not just sitting there for 3 or 4 hours at a time like you would with, say, a Becker. So overall, I really do like this dashboard. It's definitely something that would keep your attention, and they walk you through the material in a very clear manner. Okay, so now that we understand how an individual subunit works, let's look at the audio lessons. So you dive into the audio lessons here, and you can download anything that you need. So there's FAR, odd, reg, and BEC, and you can either play the audio file or download it now and then put it onto your phone or tablet or wherever, and then you can download multiple and put them into, and then they'll be downloaded into a zip file and so forth. So again, if you're somebody with a long commute, this is definitely a really good feature to have when trying to fit in some extra study time. Okay, so let's head back to content groups. Okay, so the next step after you've watched the video lecture, read the text, and done all the optional comprehension questions is to actually do the homework. So as you can see here, they have homework questions for each individual video. So let's dive into how that works. So basically you click on the subunit, then say get started on homework questions. So this one has 4. So we'll go ahead and just click through them, and you'll notice that Yaeger doesn't give you the answers right off the bat. So they expect you to answer them all first. Click yes, next, and then submit your homework. Okay, so basically I got 50% correct, so it gave me a 50%. And then you can view the explanation for why a question is right or wrong. So I highly recommend you do that. And Yaeger does a very good job of explaining why a question is right or wrong. So again, you'll be using these multiple choice to really teach yourself the material. This is where a lot of your learning is going to come from. So the next step is you can either retake this homework assignment to try and do a better job, or you can go back to the content group. So let's go back here. So, okay, so we just answered the multiple choice questions, and basically, so Yaeger, they've added this adaptive learning technology to their course. So basically, as you progress through the content, as you watch the video lectures and answer the homework questions and the lecture questions and so forth, it's going to start generating your adaptive score. And then once you have gotten enough data plugged into their database, it's going to give you an overall adaptive score. So basically, it's going to identify where you're performing well and where you're performing weaker. So obviously, you're going to use this data to know where to spend your time studying. So the whole idea behind this is to help save you time to study faster and focus only on the material that you don't necessarily understand. And I'll show you here in a moment how this all works. All right, so the Yaeger team, they were nice enough to load up my account with some pre-populated results. So as you can see here, my adaptive score has been pretty much identified for almost every single subunit within the Yaeger software. So what does this mean? So basically, you've gone through all the homework. What's the next step? So the next step is to head over to review. So this is where Yaeger's analytics are housed. So if you break down, I like this view the best. So basically, it's a strengths and weaknesses overview. So based on your adaptive score, you're going to know that these are your strengths and these chapters are your individual weaknesses. So as you can see, these are actual subunits within chapter 2. So basically, you can click on them and create an extreme quiz, a light quiz, or download the audio file for this individual module, and you can get your adaptive score up, and so that you will be fully prepared for this particular subunit. So you can also look at it this way, as well as a line graph and so forth. So basically, this is going to give you a good baseline to know where to start your final review, where you need to spend your time and where you don't need to spend your time. So another way to look at it would be to come down here, and every single module is included, and it will give you your adaptive score and so forth. So yet another way to cut the data. So, compared to other CPA review courses, this is definitely a big head start for Yaeger. Their analytics have definitely improved from the past year, but when you compare it to Gleim and Wiley CPA Excel, it doesn't quite give you as much data as they do, but still, it's a really good start. And it definitely helps you know where to spend your time. But if you're thinking about Yaeger, I would definitely compare their analytics to, say, Gleim or Wiley CPA Excel. Okay, so let's move on to the two key features that I really like within Yaeger. So they have their quiz generator. So you can do three options here. The adapt to pass quiz. So this is just going to be quizzes over the areas you've struggled. You can generate a light 5-question quiz or an extreme 12-question quiz. So this will be over anything and everything. So you can customize your quizzes. They could be 100 questions, 10, 5, whatever you wish it to be. You can select the different courses you want to test yourself on. You can do multiple choice or multiple choice and simulations if you feel like getting some simulations testing done. And you can also name your quiz. So we can just do custom quiz video. Okay, and then you can add this particular setup to your favorites or something like that. You can set a time limit, so we'll give ourselves 30 minutes, and you can even specify individual subunits that you want to test yourself on. So if you would like to do the adapt to pass quiz, and then if there's one area that you really want to make sure to test, you can individually go in and select those as well. So let's go ahead and generate the quiz. Okay, so then begin quiz, and as you can see, it'll give you the multiple choice questions. You can auto advance it and keep that on or off, whatever you like. You can flag questions for later. And basically you won't get the answer until you've actually submitted your quiz, which I do like. Okay, so then let's go ahead and submit this quiz. Submit quiz now, and then it's going to grade it. So we got 3 questions right and 2 wrong. And you can either retake the quiz, view the answers, which I do recommend you do regardless of whether you get it right or wrong, and review their explanation. And then it will tell you the total elapsed time and then the average time per question, which is definitely good when you're heading towards exam day so that you can focus on lowering your average time per question. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard, quiz generator. And as you can see, custom quiz video, that was added right here. And then you can retake that quiz if you want, view the results again, or you can even delete it, whatever you need to do. Okay, so the next little tab here is flashcards. So Yaeger, they give you, I believe it's a couple thousand flashcards here. So 447 just for FAR, and I would imagine it's similar for the other sections. So basically, they're all digital. So you just click and then flip it over and so forth. So you can flag the card for later, move on to the next one, and so forth. So something I did confirm with the Yaeger team is that these flashcards, they're not organized by chapter or subunit or anything like that. So they're all just thrown together and lumped in. So, you know, this isn't exactly ideal to use as you're progressing through the homework. So what I do recommend is that you wait till you've gone through all the homework to start utilizing these flashcards, because compared to other CPA review courses that are out there that might have them split up by actual subunit, they won't the Yaeger flashcards won't necessarily be useful or efficient to utilize until you've been through all the material up front. So this is a little bit of a negative regarding the Yaeger flashcards, but it is nice that they're still there, because once you've been through all the homework, then you can really test yourself with definitions and so forth. And you can also shuffle the flashcards and so forth. Okay, so let's check out the exam simulator. So this is the final step in utilizing Yaeger. So let's go ahead and create one for FAR. So they try to create fairly close to what you'll experience on the real exam. So, you know, obviously you won't have a launch code for this. Just click confirm, accept, and follow all the instructions here, and then you can begin the exam. Okay, so of course they give you 4 hours. I noticed their calculator, they don't have a working one, but your computer would have one. So keep that open on your screen. Another thing I noticed is that they don't split out the questions by testlets. So you'll have to use your imagination here and make sure you understand how many multiple choice questions and simulations are within a testlet. And because the whole reason behind taking a simulated exam is to, you know, simulate the real exam for what it would be like in a Prometric center. So it's really important to time yourself, to give yourself the exact same breaks and hold yourself accountable while taking these simulated exams. So it would be nice in the future if they added individual testlets just to make it identical to the real exam, but I know you can use your imagination and make this work. So you go through, answer all the multiple choice questions, you can flag them as you go and so forth. And then with FAR, there's 66 total multiple choice. But of course, once you get past that, they're going to start giving you some simulations. So you just fill these in and answer them like you would on the real exam. And yeah, so then that looks really great. These questions are identical to what you'll see pretty much on the real exam. So same types of questions, same types of answers, and so forth. So it'll really give you a good feel for what to expect on the real exam. So then once you've finished all the simulations, then you can go ahead and select Submit Exam, submit the exam and show the results, and it'll take a minute to load to grade all of your answers, and it will give you your grade. So we didn't score very well, obviously. But again, it gives you average time per questions, how long you spent, the number of sims and questions, and the section that you took. So again, use these exams as a test for yourself. So focus on where you didn't score well, and then go back to these particular subunits, and then go back and take another simulated exam and repeat, and so forth. So Yaeger makes it very easy to take these exams and then figure out where you're scoring weaker. Okay, so let's go back to the review dashboard. So an interesting little concept they have here is the game center. So basically you can enter into a competition with some other folks, and there's going to be quizzes, and it's by section, and basically you join a lobby and then answer a bunch of questions and so forth. So it's kind of a fun community type thing. I don't know how useful this would be. I wouldn't waste a whole lot of time on it, but if you're feeling burnt out, this might be a fun little way to make studying fun. Okay, so then let's see. We've been through content groups, audio lessons, review, and the game center. So let's discuss the community. So when enrolling in a CPA review course, customer support's essential. You need to be able to outsource anything that you don't understand to customer support, and you need to get a response quickly. So basically, Yaeger has a forum, and they do have some of the best customer support in the industry, just because they are a smaller, privately owned company. So, the actual instructors are popping in here to answer questions. So basically, you go in, and then you can create a new topic. You can subscribe to current topics. Let's see here. So let's look at this one here. So this person asked a question, and then Joanna responded, and she's from Yaeger. Let's look at the time here. So it looks like it took about 4 hours, a little less, more like 3 hours, to get a response, which is really quick. And it looks like he was happy by saying thanks. And so this is the type of customer support that you really want to have from your CPA review course. And you don't want to sit there spinning your wheels, feeling all alone. And this is where Yaeger really does shine, is in their customer support. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps up my review of Yaeger CPA review course. I think we've covered everything that they offer. So let's go ahead and go over who I think Yaeger is for, and reveal the pros and the cons for what I liked and didn't like about Yaeger. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so who is Yaeger CPA Review for? Well, Yaeger is absolutely great for folks who need structure and in-depth video lectures. So their dashboard, their content groups, and everything, they will fully prepare you, especially if you enjoy watching video lectures and learn well from them. It's also great for folks who just need a cram course or just an extra test bank of questions, because Yaeger, they do offer those as separate features. So if you need that extra push during your final review before you sit for exam, Yaeger's got you covered. Yaeger is also good for folks who want access to CPA exam experts to ask questions. So their customer support is some of the best in the industry. So what are the pros? So Yaeger comes with 5,000 plus multiple choice questions and 100 plus simulations, which are all tracked using their Adapt to Pass technology, which is just a fancy term for analytics. The Yaeger Live Instructor Hotline, it also provides you direct access to Yaeger teams. So like I said, if you need really good customer support, Yaeger's got you covered. Dr. Yaeger and his instructors, they also have very comprehensive lectures that cover the material, and it's well over 100 plus hours of video lectures that are included in the full course. Yaeger also provides an in-depth customizable study planner, and that you can set based on your expected total study hours per week. And also, Yaeger CPA Review course is competitively priced for the quality and the quantity of the materials that you receive. So everything that you get, it's competitively priced compared to the other courses in the industry. Now, what don't I like? So Yaeger CPA Reviews lectures, they can come off a bit dry. So basically, it's a lecturer walking you through an ebook. Now, that being said, the content is very efficiently presented. So they try to keep their lecture time to under 30 minutes. And they keep it very relevant to what you're studying. So it's not like you're going to be sitting there for 4 or 5 hours straight without getting up to go to the bathroom or anything like that. So they keep you moving, keep you jumping around from textbook to answering questions to watching lectures and so forth. So Yaeger does have flashcards, and they're great. but the problem is you can't organize them by chapter or subchapter or content group. So I did confirm that this is coming soon from the Yaeger team, but currently it's not available. The exam simulation, unfortunately, it doesn't split out the exam by testlets. So if you're really trying to recreate the real exam feel, you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit and understand where to take breaks and all that fun stuff. But overall, the exam simulation is identical to what you'll see. It's just not broken up. It's just one big chunk. And then finally, analytics, they have absolutely improved. So the Adapt to Pass technology is a great feature that Yaeger has added to their course, but it really doesn't quite hold up to Gleim or Wiley CPA Excel in terms of the granular detail. So the other courses, they allow you to create much more granular exams, and it does, I think it does a better job of tracking your progress. But again, Adapt to Pass is still enough to get the job done, and it's a great way to identify which content groups you need to be focusing on and which ones you're stronger on. So, I don't think it's a big hit, but just be sure that you compare the Adapt to Pass technology to Gleim and Wiley CPA Excel before you make your final decision, just so you understand the level of detail that you're going to be getting. All right, so what's the next step? So if you are interested in learning more about Yaeger, then you need to try their free demo out. And there should be a button above or below this video that you can click to access their free demo. So if you're on iTunes, check out cpaexamguide.com and you can find my written reviews there, and you'll be able to find all the relevant links. So if you want to be sure that you're making the right decision on a CPA review course, go ahead and pull out your phone now and text CPA review to 33444, and I'll email you my proven 7 steps to picking the best CPA review course for you cheat sheet. So this is going to be a free guide that I put together that's going to ensure that you pick the best CPA review course for you based on how you learn best. So I do recommend joining my email list, and I'll send you everything you need to know to pass the CPA exam fast. So at this point, thanks so much for watching. I really hope that I've helped you out, and be sure to check for any discounts above or below this video if you do decide that Yaeger is the best course for you.